Hey guys, it is Mike with Become the Night. Welcome back to another Song Suggestion Friday. This is the show where you guys put your suggestions in the comments below. I pick from them, I throw them in a poll on Patreon. The patrons vote on them. If you would like to take part in that poll, you can go to the link in the description of my Patreon, pledge $5 or more a month, and you can have access to that poll. I take the top ones from that poll, I listen to them, I give you my feedback, I grade them on a plus, equal sign, minus sign, based upon whether or not I would actively seek them out again. Minus sign means I would actively avoid it. Let's get started. The Unforgiven by Metallica. Still trying to find out what the hell that sample is in the intro. They lifted it from somewhere, played it in reverse. The entire intro of the song draws from their spaghetti western influences. The entire song has an absolutely great melody. It's nothing complicated, it's actually kind of down-honed simple, but it's very touching. This is the painful story of a man who never wins. And actually, I'm kind of feeling some Bob Seger in this one too. The production on this song, as with the entire Black album, is superb. This song is one of the greatest ballads ever. The solo is absolutely excellent. I mean, it's not technically amazing, but the feel involved with it comes from an actual real place of frustration. This entire song is heart-wrenching, and it clenches hardest at the very end when they start having the electric guitar harmonies on the fade out. No matter what I say, I can't do the song enough justice. It is a must listen. Total grade for this song, 2 plus signs. Burnin' For You by Blue Oyster Cult. It's a good intro. It's keeping you guessing on where it's gonna resolve. The verse actually reminds me of Rock the Casbah. Pre-chorus and chorus are by far the best parts of this song. The verse is just kind of humdrum, to be honest with you. And the sound that was going on in this track, it just didn't feel like they quite made the full tilt into the 80s. The production is really good, though I will say I think the bass is far too thin. The drums are super clean, the guitars sound great, nice and clear. Now, I mean, granted, this is not the tone I would prefer, but for what they're going for, sounds very nice. The Blue Oyster Cult vocals are good, though I think more power could have done this song a lot of justice. The solo is good, it's really nothing to write home about, but it did its job. The song feels like it wants to go full blast, but there's just a blanket over top of it. It feels muffled. Total grade for this song, equal sign. The Seinfeld theme. Just the Seinfeld theme. Who doesn't love that slapping poppin' bass? And that bass is also the melody. Pretty awesome. They also have some very weird but totally appropriate percussion in the background. It's like a mixture of different chimes, bells, I think there's a cowbell in there, hand percussion, all kinds of weird shit. I actually never noticed the cowbell before. Song is super short, so there's really not much to say. It fit the show very well, kind of quirky, kind of weird, kind of fun. And just a side note, every time I listen to this, I think of Gwen Stefani. Just look up Seinfeld theme Gwen Stefani and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Hilarious. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Enjoy the Silence, the single mix by Depeche Mode. The intro really reminded me of Bloodhound Gang. I really don't like the singer, to be honest with you, really don't. This is basically a club beat, and this is definitely not my favorite Depeche Mode song by any means. The drum sampling and the mixing are very good. They made that shit loud as hell. The synth sample in the chorus that kind of sounds like a big boom laser type thing, that's actually a really cool touch. This song is super catchy regardless about my feelings about it. I was very hesitant at first to like the song and just kind of grew on me. And now I kind of hate myself a little bit. This song is ridiculously repetitive and simple, but still somehow endearing. Just the layering of samples throughout the song was just very tasteful. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Helter, Skelter by the Beatles. I really don't care for this song, honestly. And this is the closest I would say the Beatles ever came to hard rock. This has inspired tons of the modern rock band sound, and that sound that I'm so fucking sick of, to be honest with you. This sounds like it could have been made by a band today. The mix sounds a little mushy, but I think that was intentional. And fuck that guitar solo, or whatever the fuck that thing was. Yeah, I was not digging it. The intro lyric line is really killer, and I know they repeat it somewhere else in the song. That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. And yeah, right when it hit that 3-minute mark, it just got to be too much. It's like what the fuck are you guys trying to do? It's like you're just basically trying to fuck with your audience here and there, and I get it. It's like, have fun with it, experiment with something new, but I mean, come on. And they call prog pretentious. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Cockroach King by Haken, or as I like to say, Haken. Has a very huge intro, and then that starts with this a cappella line that kind of establishes the theme. They're also very funny. Then it kind of goes into a very pretty part, and then it segues into a circusy part. I typically wouldn't like the vocals that are going over top of this, but they fit very well. Very appropriate. Around 2:20, it starts to build up emotion with a crescendo, and I believe that's actually the chorus part. Then at 250, there's this smooth jazz part that's fucking awesome. The play between the piano and the bass at that part is very fun. It says great prog rock production, everything is very clean. The kick is thumpy, the drums are a little roomy. The synth samples at around 4 minutes made me laugh out loud. And the guitar solo at 420 was really cool. I mean, for the most part, it was quite melodic, but when he went shreddy, he went nice and shreddy, but he stopped and started exactly where he needed to. Very tasty. Correction, that guitar solo was at 515, not 420. Everything just feels off, but like in an oddly satisfying way. Kind of reminds me of Frank Zappa a little bit. The ability to abruptly and seamlessly transition between multiple soundscapes was awesome. Like really, really well done. And the chorus is catchy and awesome. Total grade for this song, +. Reptilia by The Strokes. It's this song. I'm definitely not a fan of the tone, way too fuzzy. This is what I would say is one of the Helter Skelter bands. And that riff in the verse, or I think it's the verse, wears on me really fucking fast. And the chorus riff and the bass line are actually really cool. They're quite interesting. Could absolutely do without that guitar solo, really. It just did not do anything for me. The production as a whole is very fuzzy and squashed. Like they slam the compressor on that, on everything. And I know that's for effect. It's supposed to make it seem like it's blowing out of your speakers more, but honestly, it's kind of annoying. The vocals aren't bad, but they are kind of annoying to me. Although of that style, that was less annoying than a lot of other shit I've listened to. The melody is effective. It's nothing crazy, but definitely gets the point across. There's really not much else to this one. It's really short, not a whole lot going on. The chorus is the only part that kind of is cool, but at the end of the day, it fades into the background in comparison to how long and obnoxious that verse is. Plain Jane rock song verse. Total grade for this song, =. Ticks and Leeches by Tool. I absolutely love this drum intro. The mix on Tool drums is always fantastic. They establish a great groove that the most of the rest of the song rides out. And then when they start the first verse, it kind of feels like the tempo pushed a little bit, and I don't know if that actually pushed or if it's because the vocals were actually rushed ahead of the beat. Then they have some part that's transitionary that has like some guitar noise or whatever, it like makes random shit, but it actually is hitting specific tones. I thought that was a really cool touch. It breaks up the monotony of the soundscape. The melody of the chorus is okay, though I will say the verse vocals are awesome. You get a lot of passion, a lot of emotion in there. The drop off at 3:30 was cool, but that part went on way the hell too long. Way too long. I know they had like some little background things going on. You could like barely hear like somebody talking or like instruments playing or some weird shit. But honestly, it wasn't remotely interesting enough to be going on that long. Like, I think it was close to like 2 or 3 minutes, that entire part. And I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. Like, if you're gonna be as artsy as you are about your music, they did that on purpose, I'm sure. Then they kind of do a reprise of the riff that they were playing at that clean part in a distorted version. I like that a lot more, actually. And that outro groove kicked some serious ass. I started banging my head, man. That was awesome. This is one Tool song that I would say I am much more fond of. Total grade for this song, =. Turn the Page by Bob Seger. I love the saxophone, has a sexy melody and a sexy execution. These are fantastic lyrics. It's the story of the touring musician. Now compare the lyrics in this song and just the song in general to Nickelback's Rockstar. And tell me, just fucking try and sell this to me as, oh, it was a parody. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I prefer the Metallica version personally, but that's also because I'm extremely biased. I would say this version is much moodier and more fitting. I really dig the piano, especially when it hits that sus2 chord. Seger's voice, I would say, is pretty much perfect for this song. Now, I mean, it's not a perfect voice by any means, but for the story that's being told and the way that he's trying to tell it, his voice lends itself excellently. The production on this is not very good. Nothing's very clear. It's all a little muffled, and there's clipping on the vocals at the end. It's like, man, I guarantee that this was multi-tracked. It had to be multi-tracked. If it wasn't, all right, I can possibly see that, but I'm sure they didn't do just one take. Now, I will say it is tough to call because I listened to it on YouTube as opposed to on my music listening app, but still, if I had to guess. Total grade for this song, =. 39 by Queen. Yes, I finally broke and did another Queen song. You fucking Queen people are so adamant, dear Lord. Believe it or not, I do have to review other bands than Queen. Oh my gosh, those falsetto vocals in the intro are hilarious, but they're cool, but they're funny as hell. And holy shit, those acoustic guitars sound amazing. They sound fantastic. And this song is very atypical for Queen's style. This kind of has a more traditional style, kind of fused with rock, like kind of folk rock. And I typically don't hear Freddie singing this low. He still does it very well. This song is a great melody backed by wonderful harmonies. This chord progression is amazing, especially given the genre that it's in. And if more folk songs had more interesting chord progressions like this, or more interesting melodies for that matter, I'd probably fucking listen to them more. Drummer had it way too easy. This is absolutely the story isn't necessarily a feel-good story, but this song is definitely a feel-good song. The entire experience is satisfying. Total grade for this song, +sign. And now it is time for my suggestions. My first suggestion to you is Jessica by the Allman Brothers. This is also a feel-good song, and this has some of the greatest guitar parts written for this genre, honestly, and just amazing melodies. If you don't know the Allman Brothers, get familiar. My next suggestion is Sleepwalk, as done by Joe Satriani. Yes, I know I suggested a Satriani song last week. This one is a lot different. He actually wasn't the one that wrote this song. This is a cover, and possibly a cover of a cover. This is by far my favorite version. You want to talk about feel players? That's where it's at. And my last suggestion for you is a self-admitted guilty pleasure, Pig Jamboree by M1. This combines two of my favorite things in life, Game Grumps and Legend of Zelda. The Game Grumps did an episode where they played Wind Waker, and the guy took the audio of them talking, remixed it into a song. Yes, this is a stupid, simple dance beat. Yes, it is very repetitive and nonsensical, but I love the shit out of it. That is it for Song Suggestion Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. If you would like to take part in that poll, go to the link in the description, pledge $5 or more a month on Patreon, and you can have access. If you don't want to do a rolling pledge, you just want to help out a little bit, you can either tip at PayPal, link in the description, or you can go to my merch store, link also in the description, get some cool merch, wear some cool shirts, get maybe like a hat or something, I don't know. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Become the Night. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!